There is a kingdom which has remained unconquerable despite facing the biggest enemy in the world face to face. My name is Trevor, and I'm here to help young men like you grow and improve on your self-improvement journey. Thousands and thousands of years ago, there was a kingdom, the kingdom of God. And God is obviously the greatest. There were angels, and angels were lesser than God. They were more so his helpers. One of them was named Lucifer. Now, Lucifer thought that he was better than God, but I do know that he was very arrogant, and he thought that he could challenge God and beat him. Thus, he fell. He fell from heaven and then began the father of lies, otherwise known as Satan. And then began a war that's lasted 6,000 years and still continues between good and evil. And God tells himself that he will come down to earth again and he will lock Satan up for 1,000 years. Until then, it is our responsibility as Christians to bring as many people to the kingdom of God as we can. Because the kingdom of God has not failed in any way. It's the only kingdom that either hasn't failed or hasn't been made in like 100 years. All the other kingdoms, they've all fallen or they're going to fall. And most self-improvement habits, like, working on a business or working a normal job, whatever, working out, meditating, meditating helps you become more present with God. Reading, you can read the Bible, that helps you grow in faith. A lot of these self-improvement habits, you just need to adjust them slightly, and you can make them as a form of worship to God. Because worship isn't just singing songs and praising him. Now that's a great way to worship, but you can still worship him in other areas of your life. When you're, working out or you're starting up a new business, you have to have faith in something that business or that workout isn't just going to be useless. And so if you put your faith in God and you say, I trust you and I trust that my works and my efforts are going to have rewards as long as they're good. Whenever you have that faith, it's very easy to grow just by doing everyday tasks. But why does this matter? Yes, God's kingdom is a perfect kingdom. It's the greatest, the biggest kingdom to ever exist. But why is that important? It's important because the kingdom of God is eternal. It's everlasting. It's never going to fail to anyone or anything. And it has the biggest enemy ever. The biggest enemy anybody could ever go against. Father of lies. Satan himself. Now, Satan, like I said, used to be a part of God's kingdom as an angel, but lesser than God. Which means that God is above the other kingdom. God's kingdom is the strongest kingdom, but Satan's kingdom is the second strongest kingdom. Because yes, Satan was an angel lesser than God, but because humans fell to Satan's temptations, now Satan is greater than humans. Meaning that Satan is still kind of our enemy. And so, God's not going to join our team. It is us who has to join God's team. And since there are these two powerful nations, these two powerful empires or kingdoms, you must join one of them. Because you cannot make an empire that is even close to the power that these empires have. And so you must join them. So which one are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the kingdom of good, where you will be known for your righteousness and your faith in Jesus? Or do you want to choose the kingdom of evil, where you will be known for your evil doings and you will suffer eternity in hell? My posts aren't just about personal or self-improvement. These videos aren't just to help improve you alone. They're about world improvement. Because if we don't act fast, billions of people could go to hell that we could have saved. And that's not something that I want to happen. I'm not saying that this is your fault, that it is your fault that this is happening. But it is your responsibility to at least try to help these people. Because they are humans just like you. They have similar functioning brains. And that means we are equal to them, and we should try and help them and bring them to the kingdom of God. There's something you must understand. You may be young and think that this has nothing to do with you, but this has everything to do with you. Because the young people in my generation, these young adults, our young teenagers, we will be the future of our country, of the world, of God's kingdom, potentially. And so if we don't get things right now, the future could be altered in the wrong direction. So as someone who has climbed their way out of the muddy hole in the ground and has jumped and leaped around in the field close by, I did not run away and enjoy my freedom, but instead I came back, and I'm now reaching my hand down and trying to pull others up, but I can't do it alone. You have to also want to climb out, and with the help of God, we might be able to save billions of people's lives. So the action steps for this video. The first one is to turn to God and begin the spiritual war. Now, many kingdoms in the past, or even now, are having physical wars, where they're fighting to see who's the best. But God's kingdom is fighting a spiritual war, one within the heart. Before you begin physical fighting, you must win the war within. Number 2 is to take actions on your brand new beliefs. Because faith without any good works is meaningless. Now, of course, there are some very specific situations where if you turn to God at the very end of your life, it's obviously very hard to take action on your faith whenever you're dead. But let's say you have 100 more years to live, and you begin having faith in God today. You must take action on that, because you still have 100 years left. And if you don't take any action within that time, then do you really have any faith at all? The third is, once you have turned to God and you have taken action, it is now time to return back to the pit. And you yourself, with God's help, try and pull more people out of the hole. It's time to do the hard work, starting now.